Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today, including Jeremy Colliton, standing by, sponsored by Basant Motors. Due to popular demand, Basant Motors is continuing its 31st anniversary celebration. Check out BasantMotors.com to see all the great deals. Learn more at Basant Motors, BASANT Motors.com. Did I do that well enough for you, Ryan?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
It's about as good as it's going to be, so sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're joined now by Jeremy Colliton, head coach of the Abbotsford Canucks. His first year there, 2-2-0-0 to start the season. Home opener Friday in Abbotsford against the San Diego Gulls. Jeremy joining us now. Jeremy, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem. What have you learned about your new team after 4 games?
Well, we've been up and down here, inconsistent so far, but I think that's part of the league early on, getting guys in as camp finishes, and obviously we've had a little bit of turnover with the roster here early, but 4 road games, found a way to get 4 points, and I think the good news, we can play a lot better, and hopefully we can use this week of practice to load up for the weekend and playing at home, and I'm sure everyone's going to be excited about that. So I think we've had some good performances, just finding some consistency early, and that'll be the challenge here.
A lot of Canuck fans hoping right now that you have some saviors in Abbotsford, Jeremy. Linus Carlson, statistically anyway, has been one of your top players. How is he fitting in?
Yeah, he's been good. It's an adjustment to the league. I think whether it's first year North Americans coming in, not a junior, or European guys, it's hard to understand. The level. It's hard to produce. It's every shift you're being tested, and I think the best part so far that I've seen from him is just his hockey sense. He's really smart player and knows how to be in the right spot to win a puck and find a way to chip in offensively. He's obviously found a way to produce. I think just finding the consistency here, that's going to be an area we're challenging him to do, and he knows that, and he's been really, really receptive so far.
Jeremy, Danila Klemovich, a lot of hype around this kid. I know he's very young. Last year he was one of the youngest players in the American Hockey League. Scored a nice goal in Seattle last night. Talk about his development and what he needs to improve on, what you like.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you can see the raw tools, the size and the skating and the shot. I think it's just finding a way to build those professional habits so that you can be, the game's always on the line. You can talk about the key moments at the end of a period or the, last 10 of the third or whatever it may be, but the game's always on the line. And so just understanding the little details of the game that you need to do every shift. That's what we're working with him on. And, it's going to be, as you said, he's a young player, and it's going to be, there's work to do there, but, he shows, that, the big release, the heavy shot, just, his goalie got in the right spot and found a way to put it in. So we got to find a way to help him build those details of the game so he can be in the ice, so he can get paid off in situations.
Jeremy, number one thing required in developing young players is patience. And sometimes, young players are rushed. We've seen it a lot here. Don and I can name you 5-6 guys that were rushed to the NHL level. What's your philosophy on developing these players and when you think they're ready to make the move?
Well, I mean, I think you want to see him dominating at our level.
Yeah.
That's just because I think the NHL, it's hard. It's you're being tested every day, and even a lot of guys can come up and be good for a game or 2 or 3 or even 10, but you see their game sort of erodes. The grind, the travel, the constant, the pressure of every shift being so important, it can wear them down. And so I think you need that base of habits and details and confidence, so that when you do kind of get kicked around, you can bounce back and maintain that swagger that, I think a lot of the NHL guys have. So it takes time. So, we're working at here. We're trying to build, that preparation of doing the right thing every single time you're out there. That's what they need to play at the next level. We're trying to build that confidence so that they know what to do in every situation and they can survive when they're under pressure. It doesn't just happen. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy, switching gears here. As an extremely young man, coaching-wise, in your early 30s, you take over as the head coach in Chicago. You spent 4 years there. How would you describe your time there?
It was a big challenge, big learning experience. I mean, obviously, as a competitor, you want to be at the highest level. So it was a great opportunity for me, and I think I learned a lot. Certainly overall didn't get the results that I would have loved to have, but I feel like I've used that to improve and to develop and experience. Having coached a couple hundred games now at that level, you build a confidence, and you've seen situations and dealt with different people, and you just kind of learn. When new things come up, maybe you've experienced it before and maybe have a better idea how to go on. So, obviously in Abbotsford here, excited for this challenge, but that experience of Chicago and New Rockford helps me just to come in with a lot of confidence.
So being the age you were at, you take over a team that had so much success, taking over from Joel Quenneville. What was it like coaching players like Patrick Kane, like Jonathan Toews, for somebody that age?
Yeah, well, when I came to Chicago, one of the I guess reasons I went there is just to have the opportunity to be with Q and learn from him, and obviously his track record and results and wins speak for itself. So that was a great thing. But then to be the one to take over for him maybe wasn't as good, just because it's hard to follow a guy like that, and with all the success that team had. So I think expectations and also just where the team was at in its the arc, just the way the league is perhaps on the downtrend, and so that was hard. But the one thing about guys like Toews and Kane is you just love how competitive they are, and just the drive they have every day. They want to be the guy. They want to be the one to make the difference. And I think that's one thing when players ask me, what do you think about both those two? It's that's the one thing that I take away. Like Kaner, every single practice, he wanted to be the best player, and every single drill, like if he didn't score, it got to him. And I think that drive, a lot of the guys we have in the American League, sometimes you show up to a Tuesday practice and you're just trying to get through it, and that's not the standard we want to have, and that's not how you get to the next level. So it's a good way to get that point across, for sure.
Jeremy, I know you're new to the Canucks organization. I know you can only say so much. I get that, but there's a lot of tension with the big club right now. Does that tension make its way down to Abbotsford?
Well, I mean, and we all want to see the Canucks do well. I mean, we all care a lot, and obviously that's one of the best things about being back in Canada and being in a market like Vancouver is that it really matters to people, and that's the kind of environment you want to be in. So we're just trying to do our part, develop as many guys as we can, as quickly as we can, get the guys who are call-up options, try to get them prepared so they can step in and help. I think the interest from media and fans is great, and so there's pressure that comes with that. And I think when you're in that situation, all you can do is just do your job. Just come in, do your job, and that's what I'm doing.
Jeremy, one last one for you. You're carrying 3 goaltenders right now. Mike DiPietro is still there. Not ideal situation. He's a veteran, but he hasn't played yet. How tough is it with 3 goalies right now?
Yeah, it is. It is hard, and it's not ideal. There's always, with 3, in order to get the reps for the two and make sure that they're ready. One guy's got to get less. And if you start to go three equally, then no one's getting what they need. So right now, this is how it is. And, I think Mikey's been great, very professional, great work ethic, great attitude. And that's the way he has to be. It's the only way he's going to be ready if he does get his chance. And, we'll go from there. It's funny how things change quick in this business. It's amazing how, it looks one way in this minute, and then, half an hour later, it's totally different. So I think everyone's just got to control what they can control, and that's the message that we send to our guys.
We're out of time here, but one of these days we want to ask you about being a part of the, I think, consensus best ever NHL draft 2003. You were a second-round pick. We'll get into that next time, Jeremy. Thanks so much for this.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.